Hello survivors, hello family and friends, this is Roy from Bootsy Sweetheart's Guide to Life and Other Disappointing Experiences with a cover-up, a great COVID cover-up. Why go out in a plain white mask when you can go out in a beautiful fabric mask that matches your personality and your mood? See how we made cover-ups to go over the N95 grade masks. I'm here with a little video to expose the great COVID cover-up. And when I say cover-up, I mean in terms of wearing masks. And I'm staying out of the controversy, but one thing remains true. Artists and crafters will embellish, will decorate anything in their environment to express themselves. So when the masks came out, they came out with just medical grade masks. White, one shape, very, very, very boring. So we tried to compensate for that, and they came out in some colors. This is blue. I don't know if you can see how blue it is. These are colors, pretty nice solid colors, but they're still plain, unexciting, cool in some cases. I love the black ones. And then of course we've gotten the whole array of patterned paper masks, and still didn't give us enough uniqueness. Then, if you go to any store, any department store, you'll find cloth masks. So, being a crafter, I felt it necessary to try my hand at making face masks. Here was my first prototype. It's lined and looks nice, expresses my bear community. So then I refined this mask, and here is the finished product. Very cute. It's lined, and it's quite heavy. Now let me put this on here. Plenty of breathability, which turns out to be a problem, because the breathability means it's letting in, not the breathability, but the weave means that it's letting in small particles. So then comes along the N94s, 95s, and of course these came out in patterns and colors as well. And of course we're told that the cloth masks are okay, but they're not the best for filtering out these smaller particles. So it is suggested that you wear the N95s or N94s. And I'm back to square one, where this is boring and dull. But what I did learn was that my pattern fits over the N95. Solution: make cover-ups of the medical grade N95s in fabrics that will express who I am and be less boring. So what happened as a result is this beauty, which I love, and I have even wire inserts, metal inserts, is too heavy on top of the commercial N95s. So the plan was then to make unlined masks, and that's what I've been doing. Making unlined masks. Here is one of them that is almost finished. You see the same fabric. Of course, we always hold on to the fabric. And it's lightweight, but it also covers up any open holes, spaces, and makes it easier for the glasses, your eyeglasses, not to steam up. I used one of the N95s as a pattern, as a model, and you can see it doesn't lay flat. You got to have a pattern that lays flat. So the first thing I thought of was cut where I think it opens up so I can lay it flat, like the orange peel maps we used to see in school, and trace around and make the pattern that way. What I ended up doing is taking a piece of cardstock, let me take some contrast here, and tracing around the cardstock, around the mask, and marking where the elastic pieces sit. And I made a pattern. And I marked the pattern so that I knew where the holes were. I knew what where the top was. And I added a seam allowance. In this case, it's a generous 1/4, maybe a little bit more. And this became my pattern. Now the fold is important. You can cut on the fold. You don't have to cut on the fold. Now the fold comes in handy if you have some sort of very directional or matching kind of fabric that you want to match exactly. That wasn't true in most of my cases. I just cut on the fold. And all I did was found scraps. This is a great scrap buster project. So normally I would want, here's the fold. Normally I would want to put the fold there. But because I'm using a scrap, pretty unicorn fabric, let me turn it this way so it's somewhat straight up. I'll just trace around this. And what I'll do is pinking shears edge, make a pinking sheared edge to make sure it doesn't ravel, and it'll give me more options for finishing. And remember, this is just a lightweight cover. It's for decoration as well, and it doesn't have to be structurally as sound as a mask that you buy commercially. Here's the new one that I made. This one is not on the fold, and this one I put kind of like a French seam. It's sewn together, then top stitched along the seams. There's all 3 seams, 1, 2, 3. And what I've done was, as you can see in this one, I attached elastic to buttons. I sewed buttons on. Gives me more expression, more places where I can bling my mask covering. And here are some of the patterns. There's so many choices you can make for kids. You don't have to put buttons. You can sew elastic on with a tack stitch. Lots of ways you can do it. Now, to finish the edges is kind of interesting. You don't, I mean, this is my opinion, you don't have to finish them so well. You just want them to look pretty on the outside. So this one I happen to use seam binding. It's a little difficult with big old hands because this is very narrow. It's 1/4 inch seam binding. But the look is very finished. But here again, because I left enough fabric to keep this strong, there's some raw edges there, but that's going to be right against the mask. This is not going to be touching your skin. This one I'm in the middle of. I hand sewed this down. Now, why did I hand sew? Because I'm a crafter and hand sewing is therapy. I didn't have to. So now what I'll do is I'll go back and I've folded down the hem a little bit and attached it with basting. I'll go to the machine and I'll fold it over and finish it, and I have a nice tie-dye look. And you see what happens when you make patterns. Kind of very, very pretty. Here's one that I left the fold in because I liked the way the fabric pattern was. I didn't want to break it up. Take a look at this. Well, I already sewed one side, so, but I wanted the center to be continuous. I didn't want to break up the butterfly. And there's the licensed. And there's one more. This one I'm going to just sew around. Isn't that cool? So these are my cover-ups, the COVID cover-ups. I hope you enjoy this little journey. And remember, a daisy in a garden fits in, a rose in the desert stands out. Be authentic, be unique, be beautiful. Thank you for viewing and staying to the end. Please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, stay smart, and do something today to make yourself smile. Bye for now.